Let me ask you something straight from the hearting. Are you just existing, or are you winning at life? Because deep down, you know there's more in you. More fire, more strength, more power. This isn't just another speech. This is a wake-up call. I'm not here to motivate you for 5 minutes. I'm here to ignite a permanent shift. If you've ever felt stuck, lost, or like success is always just out of reach up, then stay with me. Because what you're about to hear isn't theory. It's the art of winning, and it starts right now. The art of winning doesn't start on the battlefield. It doesn't begin when the lights come on, or the crowd is cheering, or the clock is ticking. No, it begins much earlier. In the quiet places of your mind, in the still moments where no one is watching, no one is applauding, and no one sees the battle you're having within yourself. Because the truth is, the real fight, the one that determines whether you win or lose, starts with what you believe about yourself when no one else is around. You see, winning is not about talent alone. It's not even about luck or resources. Those are just tools. The real engine behind every champion, every leader, every breakthrough is belief. And I'm not talking about some soft, vague, positive thinking nonsense. I'm talking about deep, burning, unshakable certainty, a belief that you were made for more, that no matter how hard life hits, you are standing still, breathing, and still capable of turning it all around. That belief, that's what separates winners from everyone else. It's what drove Serena Williams to dominate when no one believed she could. It's what fueled Elon Musk when rockets exploded and his companies were days from collapse. It's what pushed Nelson Mandela to endure decades in prison and still come out stronger, more focused, more committed to winning than ever before. They won long before the world saw it because they won the inner war first. You want to change your life. You want to win in your business, in your relationships, in your health, in your purpose. Then you must do what champions do. Take command of your mind. You've got to stop entertaining the stories that tell you enough that you're too late, too behind. Those are lies. And the longer you believe them, the more they become your reality. Every day, you're training your mind. You're either reinforcing your limitations or building your breakthroughs. And the crazy thing is, most people don't even realize it. They wake up, scroll through social media, compare themselves to others, remember their past failures, and then expect to feel inspired. It doesn't work that way. Winners don't wait for motivation. They create it by mastering their mindset. Let me be blunt. If you don't control your mind, the world will. If you don't choose your beliefs, society will hand you theirs. If you don't define who you are, the opinions of others will shape your identity. And that's the surest path to defeat. Living a life based on someone else's narrative. The greatest victory you'll ever win is reclaiming your power to choose your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, and your vision. Now, that doesn't mean it's easy. The human brain is wired for survival, not success. It looks for what's wrong. It fears the unknown. It resists change. But that's why the mind is the most important battleground of all. Because if you can learn to condition it, not once, not sometimes, but daily, you can rewire yourself for confidence, for courage, for victory. You can teach your mind that fear is not a stop sign, but a signal. That failure is not the end, but a beginning. That doubt is not the enemy, but a doorway if you walk through it. I've worked with Olympic athletes, billionaires, and people who were seconds away from ending their own lives. And the truth is, it's not their background or bank account that determines their destiny. It's what they consistently believe about themselves. Because when you truly believe you can win, when you've conditioned your mind to expect it, your actions begin to align. You speak differently. You walk differently. You attract different opportunities. You bounce back faster. You stop negotiating with your dreams and start demanding results. So let me ask you right now, what beliefs are you carrying into your life today? Are they building you or breaking you? Are they pulling you forward or holding you back? Because your belief system is your steering wheel. It will take you wherever you're focused. And the art of winning is not luck. It's not mystery. It's mastery of your inner world. You've got everything you need inside you. Not someday, right now. You don't need to wait. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to decide that your mind will no longer be a prison. It will be your weapon. And when you win there, you'll win everywhere. Pain is a part of life. There's no escape from it. But the way you interpret pain determines whether you use it to rise or let it destroy you. Most people are conditioned to see pain as the enemy. Something to avoid, something to fear. But the truth is, pain is a messenger. It's a teacher. And if you learn how to listen to it, instead of running from it, pain becomes your greatest source of power. Think about it. Every person you've ever admired, every champion, every innovator, every leader, they've all walked through pain, not around it, not above it. through it. What separates them from the rest isn't that they had less pain. It's that they gave that pain a purpose. They didn't let it define them. They let it drive them. And that's the shift. That's the art. The winners of life reframe pain. They look it in the face and say, you will not break, you will not build me. You see, most people are taught to believe that when it hurts, they should stop. That when things get hard, maybe it's a sign it's not meant to be. That's the lie. That's what keeps people mediocre. The truth is, when you feel the most resistance, that's often the exact moment you're on the edge of growth. That's the gateway. The pain isn't there to push you away from your goals. It's testing you. It's asking, how bad do you want it? Are you committed or just interested? When I say pain is the path, I mean that every breakthrough is born from a breakdown. Every transformation comes from tension. You don't grow in comfort. You don't become extraordinary by doing what's easy. You become unstoppable when you learn to stand in the fire and not run from it. When you can face adversity and say, I don't care how hard this gets. I'm not backing down. I will grow from this. Your pain carries your potential. Your struggle is shaping you. Think about a diamond. It's just a piece of coal that went through intense pressure. Steel gets forged in fire. Muscles get stronger by being torn down first. Nature shows us this truth everywhere, but humans resist it. We pray for ease when we should pray for strength. We ask for the load to be lighter instead of asking to grow stronger shoulders. But winners, they welcome the pain because they know it's sculpting something inside them that no one can take away. If your heart's been broken, if you've failed in business, if you've been betrayed, rejected, abandoned, that pain is real, and I will never minimize that. But I will also challenge you with everything I've got. Don't waste it. Don't let it be just something you endured. Let it be the reason you rise. Let it sharpen you. Let it fuel your fire, because the truth is no one escapes pain, but not everyone uses it. And that's the difference. That's where greatness is born. There's a part of you right now that may be numb or tired or even angry, and I get that. But you are not your pain. You are the power behind that pain. And when you stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? You flip the script. You go from victim to victor. You go from wounded to warrior. That's what it means to use pain as the path. That's the moment you begin to take back your power. Listen, I've seen people go through hell and come out more loving. I've seen people lose everything and find their true purpose. Not because the pain was easy, but because they decided it wasn't going to be wasted. The pain became fuel. The pain became clarity. The pain became the very reason they refused to quit. And maybe right now you're going through something heavy. Maybe life has knocked the wind out of you. But I want you to know something. This is not end of your story. This is the chapter that turns everything around. This is the moment that years from now, you'll look back on and say, that was the pain that made me. That was the moment I chose to rise. So don't fear the pain. Don't numb it. Don't bury it. Don't medicate it with distractions. Lean into it. Learn from it. Let it stretch you, break you open, and rebuild you. Because pain is not the problem. It's the path. And if you walk it with courage, it will lead you to a version of yourself you never thought possible. A stronger you, a wiser you, relentless, resilient, unbreakable you. And that, my friend, is how winners are made. You can't just wish your way into the life you want. You can't hope your way to success. You have to move. You have to take massive action. Not someday when it's convenient, not when the stars align. Now, because without action, all your dreams are just fantasies, and nothing kills potential faster than hesitation. You want momentum. Then you've got to get up and do something. The smallest step taken with courage is worth more than the greatest idea never acted on. This is where most people get stuck. They think they need to know everything before they start. They want to be confident before they take the leap. They want certainty before they risk the unknown. But that's not how winning works. Confidence doesn't come before action. It's a result of you build confidence like a muscle. You show up, you do the work, you fall on your face, you get back up, and over time you begin to trust yourself. That trust creates momentum. And momentum is the real secret weapon of every winner. Think about a rocket ship. It burns 90% of its fuel just to get off the ground. Why? Because the hardest part is the beginning. That's true in life too. Getting started, committing fully, showing up daily. That's where the resistance lies. That's where your mind will fight you the most. But the moment you break through that early resistance, something incredible happens. You start to move. You gain speed. You feel energy. And suddenly, action becomes momentum. And in momentum becomes power. Let me tell you something that will change your life. If you really hear it, clarity comes through action, not thought. Most people are waiting to feel ready, waiting for the right time, waiting for a sign. But action is the sign. Movement creates clarity. When you take a step, you get feedback. When you make a decision, the path begins to unfold. Even if you take the wrong step, at least now you know you can adjust, you can evolve. But when you sit still, stuck in your head, nothing changes. Ever. Winners don't get trapped in analysis. They don't let perfection become paralysis. They act. Even if they're scared, even if they're uncertain, even if they don't know what's next. Because they understand that progress is more important than perfection. Speed is more important than safety. Direction is more important than details. They move. And movement creates progress, creates belief, and belief creates even more momentum. There's a force that lives inside all of us, but it only wakes up when you challenge yourself. When you commit, when you say, no more waiting, no more excuses. I move now. That's when something clicks. That's when your spirit rises. That's when you start tapping into the deeper part of yourself that's always been there waiting to be called forward. You've got to become a person of execution, not just intention, not just ideas. Execution, because the world doesn't reward ideas. It rewards results. And results come from action. Not once, not occasionally, but consistently, daily. That's what builds momentum. Doing what you said you would do even when you don't feel like it. That's discipline. And discipline leads to mastery, and mastery is where you win. Do you want to know why some people seem unstoppable? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's momentum. They've built a rhythm of action so strong that it's harder for them to stop than it is to keep going. That's the state you want to reach. Where your hatchets, your ritual or standards pull you forward. Where your identity is tied to execution and stopping feels unnatural. So start now. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for the fear to disappear. Don't wait for motivation to magically arrive. Move first. Let action be the catalyst. Let movement become your medicine. Because the moment you act, even if it's messy, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's uncertain, you break the cycle of fear and hesitation. You interrupt the pattern of delay, and you declare with your body, your mind, and your soul, I'm not here to play small. I'm here to win. And remember this, you don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, and the next, and then the next. Every step builds confidence. Every action builds identity. And that identity, that's what turns a goal into a lifestyle. That's how you shift from someone who wants to win into someone who expects to win. This is the art of momentum. This is how you build an unstoppable life. One action at a time, relentlessly, boldly, without apology, without permission, with power. Winning isn't something you do once. It's not a trophy, not a finish line, not a one-time event. Winning is something you become. It's rooted in your identity, in who you believe you are at your core. Because the truth is, you will always act in alignment with the person you think you are. If you don't see yourself as a winner, no matter how much talent or opportunity you have, you'll find a way to sabotage it. That's why transformation doesn't start with goals. It starts with identity. Identity is the invisible force driving every decision you make. It's not just how you describe yourself. It's what you believe is true about you, even when no one is watching. If deep down you believe you're not worthy, not smart enough, not strong enough, you will never outperform that internal story. You'll set goals, yes. You'll try new strategies, yes. But if the identity behind those goals hasn't shifted, you'll eventually snap back a rubber band because your brain is hardwired to keep you consistent with your identity. That's why change feels so hard. It's not the change itself. It's the fight between who were and who you're becoming. Winners don't just do winning things. They see themselves as winners. They embody it. They breathe it. It's not a mask they put on when the cameras are rolling. It's who they are when no one is clapping, when the pressure's on, when everything's falling apart. That identity is what carries them through the pain, the setbacks, the failures. Because when you are a winner, you don't question the outcome. You trust the process. You trust yourself. Let me be clear, this isn't about pretending. This isn't about fake confidence or hyping yourself without substance. This is about making a decision to become the version of you that already has what you want. To live from that identity before it fully shows up in the world. You want to be a leader, then start acting, speaking, moving like one now. You want to be in peak physical shape, then take ownership of that identity before the mirror reflects it, because the identity always precedes the result. When your identity shifts, everything else follows. And identity isn't built in a day. It's built through repetition, through rituals, through choices. Every time you show up when it's hard, every time you follow through when it's inconvenient, every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're reinforcing a new identity. You're telling your brain, this is who I am now. And eventually that story becomes so strong, so ingrained, so true for you that nothing outside you can shake it. Most people never win consistently because they keep trying to change their behavior without changing who they believe they are. That's like putting fresh paint on a crumbling wall. It looked good for a moment, but eventually it falls apart. The real work is deeper. It's internal. It's doing the inner excavation to remove the labels and limitations you've carried for years. The ones you didn't even choose but absorbed. Maybe someone told you weren't enough. Maybe life handed you setback after setback and you started believing you were broken. But hear me now, that old identity is a lie. It's outdated. It doesn't belong to you anymore. You get to decide who you are, not your past, not your pain, not your parents, your circumstances, or your failures. You. And when you choose powerfully, when you say, this is who I am now, and then back it up with consistent aligned action, the world starts responding differently. Opportunities find you. People respect you. You carry a different energy, and that energy creates results. So ask yourself, who do I need to become in order to win at the level I desire? What does that version of me think, feel, do, believe? And then start showing up as that person now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. Because your life will rise or fall to the level of your identity. That's not motivation. That's science. When you embody the identity of a winner, it becomes impossible to live a losing life. It doesn't mean you'll never fail, but it means failure won't define you. It means you'll rise faster, push harder, and hold yourself to a standard that most people can't even imagine. Because it's no longer about trying to win. It's about being someone who wins. That's the shift. That's the breakthrough. That's the art of winning, becoming the person who doesn't just chase victory, but expects it because it's who they are.